Hi, comic book fans, and welcome to suddenlycomics.com. It's a Monday night. It is the price variance. I'm joined by Alan, who has failed to get any of his own merchandise on him, unless he's hiding it somewhere.
I have it. It's on order. It's on order.
Okay, so maybe we'll see it next week.
Mhm.
So we are going to be looking, as usual, at the most interesting and hottest sales of Silver Age comics or heritage auctions last week. And I think we've got another Spider-Man free week, that's nearly, I think that's 3 weeks in a row now. I'm expecting a whole bunch of Spider-Man next week. Right, let's kick off.
Yeah, so that's my surprise for you that there is no Spider-Man. It's a Spider-Man free week. I did actually had Amazing Fantasy on the list, but it got kicked off by another book.
Right. Okay,
It
so
would have been number 11.
right form here, Alan. First Silver Age appearance of the Penguin.
Yes, yes. So this is Batman number
155?
100. Let's
Yes,
see,
55.
155. Yeah, I always love this cover not only because it's the first Silver Age Penguin, but it's like a dragon cover. I like dragons, so
It's a great cover. It's Penguin
yeah,
seems to have some sort of grappling hook umbrella.
yeah.
He's attached to the dragon's mouth. Don't ask me how. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah.
He's doing the dental floss thing.
Yeah. He's sort of dragon dental floss. Very kind.
Mhm.
Yeah, great looking comic. I do have this at raw. It's not in anywhere near as good condition as this one.
Yeah, I have it raw too.
Yeah,
I really love this cover. I think it's fun.
it is. Now that
So, yeah,
look, yeah, it's actually a statue, isn't it? That
yeah, it's a statue.
it's not a real dragon, right?
So 7.5
Yeah,
and
it's a Penguin Victor
19
Vale appearance, Bill Finger story, Sheldon Meldoff and Charles Paris art, and Sheldon Moldoff cover.
cover. Hmm.
Pretty.
1963. So lots of cool things. This is in 7.5. Really nice copy. I mean, this is just, and this is before the Batman series. So it's not going to have as many on the census compared to some of the later
No, this will be
ones.
rarer uh,
Yeah.
than the Batman TV series ones. Right,
Mhm.
how much did this sell for? 7.5, nice grade. 180, 1,800. Sounds a bit low.
I'm not sure. So to me, that sounds actually a little high.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see what.
Because I always think of DC books as being like a little bit undervalued. So I think that
Let's see. Oh, you're right, Alan. You are
yeah,
correct. That is nearly a record. That is matching the COVID price just about.
yeah, yeah.
So this came down after COVID, but it's actually recovered back to nearly COVID prices.
And it's actually way above the trend line
Oh,
too. I mean,
way
this is,
above the pre-COVID. Uh,
and there could be some reason for that because of what's his name played Penguin in the last Patterson movie. Um,
yes. Yeah,
The Patterson Batman.
yeah. He did.
Um,
Rumored.
what's the guy's name?
It's Colin
Colin Farrell.
Farrell. Yeah.
See, I'm terrible with names, but I sometimes remember. Okay, so and what's the census count?
I'm going to guess 1,200. No, not far off. Nine
Yeah,
seven nine.
yeah, 965. Oh, that's, I mean, still a low census count.
Yeah,
As I said, these weren't saved as much as the later things. Yeah.
yeah, no, and they had quite big returns. Although I can't imagine anybody wanting to return there, but they,
Yeah. I mean, if I saw this on the shelf, I would totally buy it because it's so cool. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't have even bought it for the penguin. So
yeah, well,
but
wouldn't you? Yeah,
the dragon, the first appearance of the statue dragon. I mean, come on, it's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so very cool.
This comic is performing well, Alan.
Actually, this has been a pretty good week in terms of books,
Yeah, it's not
not
good.
just
Yeah, it is actually.
mm,
We've seen more up than down. Right.
yeah.
Very nice. I like that one. What's next?
Good way to start your list. So
Oh,
yeah.
another one. Another cracker.
Now this is one where I think we'll be on the downside. So
Okay, so I can tell
right.
you, Alan's never shown me this, but I guarantee Alan has got this because he collects these big premiere issues.
I have all the big premiere issues, and I have this, I think, in a 5.0 or 6, somewhere around there.
Okay, so this is the first Captain America after what was it? Tales to Astonish was he in? Um,
Uh where he comes back.
yeah, the
Wasn't
drop
it
top.
Avengers? Avengers. Wasn't it Avengers where he comes back?
Oh yeah, you're right. So there we go. Anyway, so here he is. He's returning. Yeah, it's first issue. Yeah, we've got a Black
Yeah,
Panther
it's the first issue of Captain America. Yeah.
story and
Captain America 100.
continued from Tales of Suspense. Yeah, I was right. Tales of Suspense 99.
Oh yeah, Tales of Suspense is where the story is, but he first appears in Avengers, if that makes sense. I think Avengers 4, I believe.
Yeah. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Okay. So
Yes.
it's the first Captain America in his own magazine at last, even though it's issue 100.
Yes.
Music. Um, so back then they didn't think issue one was the best thing since sliced bread, and rather than start again, but I suppose issue 100 is quite a sexy one to do as your
Yeah, it's the centennial thing, right? So
yeah.
but I think they did actually like the first issues back then because you got Iron Man 1, Submariner 1, Silver Surfer 1. Those are all premier issues, right?
Alan, who's the woman in green?
Is that the Black Widow?
Well, why is she in green?
I don't know. I'm just saying. I can't really see. I don't know who that is.
Oh, we've seen her before. I've asked this before.
I'm not sure who that is, tell you
I'm
the
not
truth.
sure who it is either. There's the Wasp.
Yeah, there's the Wasp.
You've got Submariner. You've got some big hitters here. So who the hell's that?
Well, I would say I'm gonna guess that it's Black Widow, but I'm
Well,
not sure.
well, I'm sure your viewers will know and correct
And
you.
they'll say, "You're an idiot. You don't know." No, totally make fun of me. Um, I should know, but I don't.
Okay.
So I
$5,000, Alan. Would you pay
$5,000. I have a feeling this was up to like $10,000 at one point.
Probably was during COVID. Let's have a look. Oh, actually, this isn't doing bad, That peak there is post-COVID. So
So
somebody
what's the peak?
August, was post-COVID. That somebody paid 8,000 for this. Yeah.
Okay, so actually not down as much as I thought, but
So no, it's not down from COVID at all, virtually.
yeah, actually it looks like it's above the COVID number. What's the COVID number?
That's the COVID price. At 5,000, it's a lot less than that one. But that's slightly less than COVID price. So this one's holding up, way
So
up.
I think that weird little spike thing is just, sometimes you get those one-off sales where somebody just way overpays. Like just that's a way overpay.
Yeah, it was a fixed
And this
price
is
on eBay. So somebody bought this fixed price on eBay.
yeah.
They
So
didn't do
somebody
research, did they?
didn't do the research. Yeah, but that's crazy. So somebody overpaid. I would kind of like say that's an outlier sale and just ignore it.
Yeah.
But this is a good price. This is another strong price. This is
That's
if
that's a
you
very
look,
strong price. I mean, if you consider,
yeah, look at how flat it was in the past.
pre-COVID, it was 2,200 comic, and now it's selling for 5,000. So this is capped up. This is holding up.
Very good price.
Yeah.
So what's the census count for this one?
Uh,
Maybe that's why.
it's probably quite a lot of these. Yeah. 6,000 of them.
Wow. But getting them in this high grade, it's probably a pretty, it's rare enough that people will desire it to have that high grade copy.
Yeah.
But wow, 6,000. I mean, that just shows you the difference between Marvel and all the other stuff that we're looking at.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, probably if we added up the numbers of all the books we've looked at so far, They wouldn't
This is
as much as that.
not even half is probably that's the funny thing. It's oh well. So yeah. So this is I don't know, it's a great book still.
That is a great,
Um
nice cover.
all
Jack
right, so
Kirby. Right.
Jack Kirby cover.
Oh,
Yeah, it looked very Jack
oh,
Kirby-ish.
Alan, look,
I saw this and I was like, oh man, I love Star Trek. So
we both love this comic. We've had it a few
yes.
times. And this is a rare one because it's not signed by Shatner.
Yeah, it's so true. It's like if you look, I think the census count is higher for signed copies than the actual regular ones.
Pretty close.
Um, so yeah, so this is, Star Trek #1. It's a great photo cover. This is one of those times where you actually want a photo cover, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
because it shows like, and it has the back cover of it is really great too, because you got Shatner on the back, which is really great.
Look, a young Shatner.
Yeah, and he's looking so,
Looking
Captain Kirk,
debonair. I don't know what he's doing with that toothpaste.
baton thing or whatever it is. I think it's actually him. Like, it's like one of those communicators,
Oh,
like the earlier version of the communicator.
is it? Okay.
I think so. Like he's like reporting. He's like,
Looks as if he's
I
about.
think he's talking to that machine that's next to him.
Oh, okay. Because he looks as if he's about to sing, which he is known to do, and it's not a pleasant.
It's, he's actually had a few albums. It's just so funny. Um. So yeah. Oh yeah, man. What a great guy though. Okay, so
Oh, I love him to bits.
yeah, he's awesome.
He's just one of those
Uh,
guys like David Hasselhoff, who he's
you
so
gotta love him.
you've
He's
got,
so over the top.
and he went into space last year, aged about 80 something, didn't he?
Yes, yes. I think that's so cool. So
And you've
yeah,
got Spock on the front, you've got Shatner on the back.
Sulu on the front too.
Okay. So mine's a 5-0, signed by William Shatner.
That's still great. I really that mine's like a 4-0. So
Yeah. Right.
um
Okay, let's have a look at this. How do we think? With 5,200, that sounds about right to
it
me.
seems like a good price. Yeah. I mean, this one had sort of ups and downs as well, like some pretty big ones.
The COVID price. The COVID price was 10,000. This is 5,000, which is still up on pre-COVID. Yes.
Yeah, very solid price
Yeah,
actually.
very solid price.
Um
It's a nice little line. If you draw a line from there to there, it's a nice little rise. Uh,
yeah.
yeah. These
And this one
Star
you
Trek.
can see the skip. What?
I said Star Trek has improved recently. The price of
Yeah,
Star Trek comics, because the recent series have been a lot better. Um,
yeah. Yeah, I think they improved the writing, and that's what makes it. Yeah. Um, this one also is a fairly rare book. I mean, if you look at the census count again, it's only like 1,300.
yeah, I know, for a #1 of a major.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and of a very popular series. I mean, this came out soon, soon after the series dropped.
yeah.
So I mean, and Star Trek was very popular in its first few years. I mean, well, it only lasted 2.5 seasons, really. Um, so yeah, just a cool one.
Very cool. Like that one. Right. Oh, here we go. It's this comic.
Yeah, so there are a few, ones that you've seen before.
Yeah, well,
Um,
okay. This one continues. When we've looked at this recently, Alan, this is one of the few Marvel books that is not,
that has gone up.
it goes,
So the reason I put this on the list is it's the exact same grade as the one I have. That's one reason. But it's also one that had that record sale in the high grade. So I was curious, how did the lower grades perform after that big sale? Did
well,
they
how
get
much
the
did you pay
Amazing
for yours,
Spider-Man
Alan?
with it?
Because I bet you paid less than $12,000 for it.
Yeah, I paid it closer to 6 or 7.
Well, your money, you've doubled your money, mate.
Yeah. But I think this is actually down, believe it or not. So
I don't.
we'll,
I don't think this will be down. 12,000 for a 2-0. This
yes.
has been outperforming.
Yeah, I know it's been outperforming, but it's a little bit down. Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Well, it's up on the previous sale.
But what was the peak? Like 14?
but it's not bad. Kevin Peak was
Well,
40.
I'm not saying it's like, going to be half or anything crazy like that, but it's slightly down from its peak.
Here we go. So Alan paid 6,000. So he probably bought his in about 2016, 2015.
No, no, actually I didn't. I bought it in 2021 or something like that. 2020. So what happened was they they mispriced it.
Oh, okay.
So they failed to understand the exchange rate. So basically what they did was they said, it should have been 9,000 US, but they said, oh, 9,000 Canadian. Because it was sort of when the Canadian dollar had really dropped.
Okay.
So they just sort of did parity almost. And it was basically like I got a steal because of exchange rate.
Oh, you did. So you bought it here about the right price, about 9,000 here in 2021, but somebody screwed
And
up.
actually, so it was 9,000, but then I asked for a 10% discount.
Who was it who you screwed over? Was it somebody? Was it Michael?
It was a shop. It was a shop. It was a shop. So it all worked out. They did okay. So yeah.
Did they come after you with a gun afterwards when they lost?
No, but yeah, I think they were a little bit the sale. I think it, and it spiked afterwards too.
I bet
So it
they
was
still
kind
talk about. I bet they go. Do you remember that Canadian?
of that bought the book. It was there. They're Canadian too, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Odd. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Good old Hulk keeping the end up. Right.
Yeah. Oh, and look at the census. Wait, go back on that one. Just look at the census count on Hulk. I always want people to know how rare Hulks are.
Yeah. I mean, there's a 2,000. It's not as rare as some of the ones we were looking at earlier, Alan.
Yeah, but for Marvel, and
Marvel.
this is our issue. This is a number one.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's rare.
It's low.
That is rare. And it's a hard book to find. And that's why it usually holds its price. That's like, one of the things that I always like to talk about is how scarcity can help a book hold its price no matter how crazy the times are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Last one. It's Avengers 1
Mhm.
and classic cover in an 8.0. That's a high grade. It's a beautiful looking copy, Alan.
Yeah,
Look at the colours on this.
I know. Well, it's an 8.0. You expect,
Yeah,
you
I mean,
expect,
that has not been sat out in the sun, has it?
yeah, and usually along that green on Loki,
Yeah,
it's usually that's where you're going to see all the spine ticks.
yeah.
And this one looks
Awesome.
really, really clean.
But, I mean, well, I mean, I would have said that's done well to get an 8.0. If you look at the,
Actually, yeah, that's a pretty deep spine tick on his shoulder there.
oh, well, there's a number of them. I don't think this is an 8.0. How many
More
spines?
like a
How many
more
spines
like a
for an
more
8?
like a 7.0. As I said, it really, and like on the helmet there, there's a pretty deep one as well.
I wouldn't get this regraded. I think this has been graded
So
generously.
you're maxed out on that. It looks really sharp though until you look closely like
Oh,
this.
when you go climb this, look down here. This is doesn't. That's not an 8.0 corner.
Yeah, that's a really mushed corner. I'd say actually a 6.5-ish.
Yeah, if you're the owner of this, don't send it in for regrade.
Don't don't get it regraded.
Yeah,
Wow.
and look at the top here.
Yeah, some like a bit of a corner crunch.
That is not an 8.0.
Wow. Interesting. Oh, so somebody did really, they must have been like super excited when they got this graded.
Yeah, if I'd sent that in and it
I
came
mean, it looks really
out, I'd
sharp.
been leaping around the room.
I mean, it's one that looks really sharp though. I
It
mean,
does
this
look
is a,
strong. So when you get into looking at the detail, which
well,
is
as I said, that green really shows any spine stress.
yeah,
Like, so
right.
wow.
Oh, how much did this?
Interesting.
17,400.
I'm guessing that's down. And if people looked at this book, it'd probably be down even
It
more.
is down. I think some people might have looked that same we did, Alan. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, and it's still holding up from pre-COVID.
Yeah.
On this one here from November 2022,
What was the peak sale?
peak sale was 28,000.
28,000. So about little more than half below it.
Yeah.
And actually, I believe it or not, I think this is a high price based on what we're seeing,
I
like
think
based on the
I,
potential
I don't think
regrade.
that's an 8.0, but I suppose once
Yeah,
it's I'm saying 8.0, it is an 8.0.
yeah, that's a shame. I
Yeah,
mean, look at this is more like a number one census count, like, 5,400, almost 5,500.
yeah, there you go. That's more normal for Marvel
Mhm.
ones. Uh,
Yeah.
and there are 51 of these in a 8.0. So I think this could drop more.
Yeah, I'd say it should go back into line with the pre-COVID numbers would be my guess.
Yeah, maybe another couple of grand down.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But still a cool book. I mean, it's a really loves book. So people are always gonna want it. But yeah,
All right.
so what'd you think of the list?
Good list. It seems to me as if we're getting a bit of stabilization in the market. Uh,
Yeah, things actually, even that last one,
yeah,
even though it's down, it's actually
yeah,
pretty stable.
yeah, yeah. So there's some sign here of a bit of a bounce in the market. Nothing huge yet.
Mhm,
So let's just wait. So that
mhm.
is it for this week. We will be back next Monday, but for now, that's your lot. See you again soon.